Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello, my name is Erin and today I'm going to be doing a ranking video. I just finished a full face of some newish products, specifically this Dreamscape palette from Cara Beauty. I hope I'm saying that right. Look at that packaging. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is the outer carton and this continues on the palette, the same image. Beautiful. And I have to say the shimmers in here are gorgeous. So I did this pink and greeny look, and I tried out my Hourglass quad of powders, and then I have this lip from Juvia's Place. So I'm excited about those things. I've been doing a lot of shopping. I need to slow down. I also just bought clothes. Like I bought this shirt, which I love, and I bought new shirts and jeans and things. So your girl's been going in on shopping, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about ranking my Colourpop palette. So yeah, if you're interested in ranking videos, definitely just keep on watching. But before we get into that, hi again, my name is Erin, and this is my channel where I talk about all things beauty as well as some entertainment things. I love to talk about horror movies, review them, do first time watches to movies I've never seen, but I also like to dabble in the makeup and beauty side. So you'll see videos of both those topics on my channel. So if you're interested in either of those or both like me, then this is the place for you. You can definitely stick around. I'll link some more videos on my from my channel down in the description box, as well as you can subscribe to see some more of me. So if that's interesting to you, definitely do that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So today I thought I'm gonna go ahead and do this video. I've been thinking about doing it. I love watching ranking videos, whether that be ranking horror movies or ranking makeup, and I love both of those. So I thought let me do a ranking of my favorite of my Colourpop collection. I own the most palettes from Colourpop. I do really like the brand. It's one of my favorite brands, even though sometimes they do some things that I'm just like side-eyeing or with their rapid releases. But overall, as a brand, I do like them. I just wish they would, you know, step up to it a little bit more, but that's not what this is about. We're talking about the palettes, and they have a good formula. They have good palettes, they have some really unique themes, and they have some cool collabs. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to rank all 16 of my Colourpop palettes that I have. Some I've gotten more recent, some I've had for a long time, and that will factor into how they're ranked. But I'm just going to tell you guys which ones are my favorites. If you've been on my channel before, you probably know which one's going to be number one, because it's like one of my favorite palettes ever. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so starting at the bottom, number 16, and I'll preface this by saying that all the palettes that I still own at this point, I haven't thought of decluttering any of them. That might change in the future, but overall, they're pretty much, I like all of them. Some of these ones at the bottom though are a little, you know, not the best, but as of right now, I'm keeping all of my palettes, all these ones that are in my collection. I do like them, but these ones at the bottoms, I'll talk about them. So number 16, coming in number 16 is this palette from, obviously from Colourpop. The palette is called In a Trance. It's one of their like tie-dye themed palettes they came out with recently. Let me scoot over a little bit. And so this one was the blue, green, purpley, not blue, green, I'm sorry. The blue, purple, pinky one. And look at this, it's about to pop out of the thing. And I love their 9-pan palettes. They're some of my favorite palettes, but this one just was not my favorite. I think the pastel shades were just a little too chalky on me. And of course, you know, I could work with it, but it just wasn't my fave. Some of the shades I felt just blended right away. And then this glitter in the middle, didn't really want to use that. It's not a terrible palette, but it just wasn't doing it for me. So this is how the palette looks like. Oh gosh, this light. Okay, that was a little bit better. So this is what the palette looks like. As you can see, there's some blues, there's some purples, there's some pinks. This is like a super sock shade, which is really pretty, but I didn't find that it worked really well with the other shades. The glitter, again, like I said, didn't love. And some of the mattes like were just chopped, like this blue right here. This like really powder blue, pretty color, just chalky on me. So that's why this one is coming in at number 16. Cute theme. Love the packaging too. packaging's super cute. All right, coming in at number 15 right away. This is the Garden Variety palette. This palette is really pretty from Colourpop, and I love the packaging. I think the packaging is gorgeous on this. And it's a newer palette. That's one I haven't had long, but already it's not not my favorite. It's cute. Like, it's one of their 15 pan palettes. I don't own a whole lot of their 15 pan palettes, but it's one of the 15 pan format, and it has some really pretty colors in here. It has some pretty shimmers and stuff. Nothing just super calls out to me with this. And it's just very similar to a lot of other color schemes that they have. So for me, it just wasn't that unique. But that's not to say that I don't like the palette and I didn't like what I achieved with it when I did a look with it. But I need to use it some more. I haven't had it that long, and it's just not wowing me. So that's why this one is coming in at number 15. All right, coming in at number 14 is the Honey palette from Colourpop. I really like this. I mean, I shouldn't say I really like this palette. I like this palette, but the reason it's coming in at number 14 is, again, it just does not show up that well on me. Press that back in there. I mean, I can get the colors to show up, but it's just not as vibrant in yellow. Like, compared to the Urban Decay Honey palette, which I think just did it a little bit better with having those yellows really pop and come out and show up on different skin tones. This one I find doesn't. Just to me, I mean, it doesn't go deep enough. It doesn't have enough pigmentation or base in it, and there's a lot of like shades with like kind of a whitish base or a light base that just looked a little chalky on me. So for that reason, I didn't really love this one. Plus the pressed glitter, I don't mind pressed glitters, but I don't use them really ever. So that kind of shade was just kind of a whatever shade for me. Like, I don't use it at all. So I mean, I don't completely will never ever use a glitter, but I'm just cautious about them, and I don't use them often, if ever. So for me, that shade just doesn't do it for me. But yeah, so that's for the number 14 is the Honey. And those monochromatic palettes, I believe these are $12, all of the monochromatic 9 pans. And then these palettes, I want to say, go between anywhere from $15 to $22. I think this might have been around that price range. So yeah. All right, coming in at number 13, this one I bought for purely nostalgic reasons, and this is the Candy Castle Colourpop Land collab with, you know, Candyland. And here's the outer box packaging, and then the inside you have the palette that looks the same. And here are the shades. Again, these really light white base type of shades, like you can see chalk to the E on me. And that's not to say that, you know, it wasn't a good concept and a cool collab, and that's why I bought it, because of the nostalgia. But the colors in here, I just feel like, why not put a little bit more pigmentation into the colors? Like, we've seen pastels done with a little bit more pigmentation, like Shroud Cosmetics or the new Glam Light palette that I don't have, but I've seen a lot of people reviewing it, and it's so pigmented and you still have that pastel look to the shade. These are just chalky, and I know it's an affordable palette, but they just don't do it for me. This shade, these like 1, 2, 3, 4, no, and that's it. This one too, actually. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades out of this palette that don't show. And this one's okay, but those other 4, and that's like, it's only a 10 pan palette. So if 5 of the shades or even 4 of the shades are not usable, that's like, what was the point, you know? But I do love the packaging, and I probably will never get rid of this because I love Candyland, and I like the nostalgia. Like, that's what a lot of companies bank on, is the nostalgia and the packaging. And I'll say it, I can be a sucker for that. Sucker, but hey, I got it. So yeah, that one's coming in at number 13. And then the next palette, Surprise, surprise. Also a bit of nostalgia. I didn't even watch Sailor Moon growing up, but I love like anime and this like aesthetic. So yeah, when they restock, I didn't get it when they first released it either. I got it on a restock, and such a cute palette. Like, this is why I get sucked in from brands, is packaging and just the beautiful aesthetic of, like, I like anime, and this cute artwork is just, it sucked me in. Like, I didn't need this. And again, the colors in here, these colors are a little bit better. Like, they're still like that shade right there. Like, what am I going to do with that besides maybe highlight somewhere, I guess. This shade is okay. It's okay. And then the rest of them are pretty nice, actually. I do like this color scheme a little bit better than the Candyland one. And even though I actually played Candyland more than I watched Sailor Moon, I like this one a little bit better because of the colors in here. Just a little bit more pigment. Not that much, but it shows up a little bit better than the Candyland one. And I do think this palette color story is really, really pretty. I really do. And the packaging. So that's why this one's coming in at number 12. Alright, so number 11 on our palettes that I do enjoy a lot more than the ones I've mentioned before, before 11. So these ones I'm going to be mentioning next are ones that I enjoy a lot more. But again, my favorites are going to be at the top. Alright, we're heading right along with number 11 is the Misunderstood palette. This is one of the collabs Colourpop has done with Disney. I think this was the first one. I did not get this one upon release. In fact, I don't even think I knew about Colourpop when they released this. I think that's a correct statement to say. But I got this one when I started picking up some palettes from Colourpop that I missed out on or that were already released. And also when they were, I think, discontinuing these palettes. I think they are discontinued as of right now. I picked up the 2 Disney ones I had missed. So this is the Misunderstood palette. This is the Disney Villains collab that that Colourpop did with Disney. And the packaging, again, gorgeous. I keep a lot of, you'll see a couple boxes I've kept from Colourpop. And then the inside looks like this, no mirror, but it is one of their 15 pan. And this one is heavy on the shimmers, which I don't mind. And I just like how like deep and jewel toned and like kind of almost sultry looking these shades are. Sorry if I'm blinding you with the packaging, that's not great, but I do like these shades and I really like this palette. I need to use this palette more, I really do, but every time I have used it, I've really liked the looks I've done. And look at the packaging. Like, this is all my vibe with the dark theme, the villain theme. I love it. So that's why this one's coming in at number 11. And again, like I said, 11 and up, I really like all of these palettes. I think they're really good and the quality is really good. So that's coming in at number 11. Coming in at number 10 is one of the monochromatic ones, the Lilac You A Lot one. I need to use this more. Actually, I haven't had this that long. Again, I didn't get it upon release. This is one I picked up later, so that's why it's ranking a bit lower. And I really love purples. Like, purple eyeshadow is one of my favorite things to wear, but I just haven't had it that long. And it is more of that pastel-y shades. Like I said, sometimes those are hard to show up on my skin tone, but these are actually really nice, which is why they're coming in at number 10. And I love the purples that are in here. I think these shimmers are so absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that one right there. Beautiful shade. Colourpop does not disappoint me with that. So I love the shades that are in here. It's just that I need to use this more, and I like one of the other purple palettes that I'll show later on, spoiler, a little bit more than this one. So that's why this one's coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the Just My Look palette. This is the green palette. I do really like this. Again, I haven't had this that long. I didn't get this upon release. This is when I first started getting into makeup and Colourpop. This is one that I believe had been released not too long ago, and I missed that release. And then I just kept holding off, and I never got it. And once I started buying up all the other monochromatic palettes, I always kept coming back to, like, I need this green palette. Like, I really wanted this palette, and I just recently got it not too long ago. So I need to use this some more. That's why it's ranking a bit lower as well. I've started to love green eyeshadow a lot more. I just need to use this more, really. That's really what it is. But it's so pretty, like gorgeous. So I think I've only used this actually just once, and it's already got up high in my list once or twice. So that tells you right there, it's a good palette. It's just I haven't used it that much. And then coming in at number 8, another one I haven't used that much. I just bought this, but I've actually used this one a few times. Actually, I wore it to work. And this is the Main Squeeze. This is their red palette based off of watermelon. Yeah. So this one is super duper cute. I love red eyeshadows too. I think they're amazing. I don't know. Oh, that's just powder. I love red eyeshadows, and I really like the looks I got with these when I wore this to work and the few days that I wore this. So that's why this one's coming in at number 8. I think the shadows in here are beautiful. Some of these unique shades are just gorgeous. Like, look at that. Look at that shade. Like, is that like a red gold mix? Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. But like I said, I've been loving this palette. Even though I just got it not too long ago, it still ranks higher than some of those other palettes that I mentioned before. So that's why this one is coming in at number 8. All right, number 7 is going to be the other Disney collab with Colourpop. This is it's a princess theme palette. It looks like this. I love the packaging for these Disney collab palettes, and they just announced a collab with Hocus Pocus, which I will say, I don't think I've ever seen that movie fully through. Like, that's terrible to say. I know people love that movie. I've never seen it all the way through, like, ever. So I need to do a first time watching that movie, because I've seen bits and parts, but I've never seen that movie all the way through. And I would like to get that palette, so I need to do that soon. But anyways, this one here is their other Disney collab. This is the first princess one, and I just think it's so pretty. Look at that. And the shades in here, it's a neutral palette, but it's a beautiful neutrals palette, and it's got some really staple shades in here that are really nice and pretty, and I can pretty much use almost every shade in here. A few of them, of course, you know, but I think this palette is just such a staple, nice palette that's really beautiful, and that's why it's ranking at number 7 for me, because I can wear this at so many different occasions, and I think the palette and the presentation is absolutely gorgeous. So number 7 is a princess thing. Okay, coming in right after that at number 6, I'm actually going to reach over and get it, is the palette Nude Mood from Colourpop. This one is a not too old, but not super new either. They've come out with several collections since this one, but this one is a pretty little nude palette with some kind of more neutral browns and neutral shade, nude shades that I think are absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at some of those shimmers, just beautiful, like gorgeous. This one is a bit like a cute topper glittery shade that I just absolutely love. That I always swatch shimmers because those are what get me, but this palette is super pretty, and I love to wear this one again also just on so many different occasions. I like to wear it to work. I wear whatever I want to work pretty much for eye makeup, but like, you know, I don't do go this, you know, but I'll wear pretty much any color. I usually do monochromatic colorful looks for work because I find them a little bit more wearable for the workplace, but this is a great one as well. So if you're looking for like a nice neutral color scheme, this is beautiful. And the packaging is really pretty too. Like, their packaging always kills me. It's gorgeous. Okay, you guys, we're getting into the top 5, and some of these palettes I've talked about a lot, so I won't overdo it and just keep going on about palettes that I've already talked about, but these are my favorite ones from Colourpop, so let's go ahead and get into it. Coming in number 5 is the Blue Moon palette. I love it. I don't even wear blue eyeshadows that much. I mean, you'll probably be like, go through all my videos on YouTube and like, you wear a lot of blue eyeshadows. Well, sometimes those are just looks I'm doing for YouTube, but like, I don't wear blue eyeshadow that often, but this palette is one of my favorite 4 blue eyeshadows that I have, and I just think it's beautiful. And I actually do like blue eyeshadow on. It's just I don't wear it as often as like pink or red or orange. Those are kind of my go-tos. But this palette is so pretty to me. I really love some of these. Like that shade right there is absolutely gorgeous. This shade right here is just, I love this shade here, and I can use every shade in here. Even like this like lighter pastel-y shade, it's a good lighter pastel-y shade that shows up on me. Like every shade in here, I can use every shade in here. So that's why I appreciate this palette, and I think it's such a beautiful palette, and it's so affordable. I really like it, and I know a lot of people do love their monochromatic palettes, but I don't hear as many people talk about the blue one as much as some of the other ones. But this one is a gem to me. So number 5. Number 4 is going to be one of my favorites, Orangey Glad from Colourpop. I love orange eyeshadows, and I really love an orange monochromatic whole face on me, like orange blush, orange eyes, and with an orange, like not super orange, but like orange, like a neutral, not nude, what am I trying to say, nude lip with like an orange gloss on top. It's absolutely beautiful, you guys. You guys should try that one. Yeah, but this palette is one I use when I do that look a lot, and I wear this palette to work a lot as well. It's one of the palettes that gets quite a bit of use for me, and I just love this palette. It doesn't look like it, but I have used this palette quite a lot. This glittery shade I don't use that much. I don't like pressed glitters that much, but all the other shades are great. I love this palette. I think that they, and I actually think they went pretty deep with that. They could have gone deeper, but I think this palette is really well balanced. You've got a deeper shade, you've got some lighter shades, you've got just a great variety in here, and I think that it makes for beautiful, beautiful orange looks. So this is one I really love, and again, just so cute. Number 3. This is going to be the, oh, wrong palette. Number 3 is, where are you? Okay, thought I was going crazy, but the palette was sitting with me. So number 3 is the Midnight Masquerade palette. This is the first Colourpop palette that I bought upon release. Was it my first Colourpop palette? I think this was my first Colourpop palette, actually, which is probably why it's so high up here, because it was the first one I ever bought. Look at how pretty. Oh my goodness. So this was the other Disney collab that they had, round 3, I believe, and again it was with the princesses again. And look at how pretty this palette is. Again, it's pretty much a lot of neutrals with some pops of colors, but it's a good neutrals with pops of color palette. It does have 2 pressed glitters as well, which I've used them, but I don't, again, oh Lord, I don't love. All right, so let me finish this video quickly. But yeah, I love this palette. It's really pretty. I like the colors in here. I like all of these deeper shades down here, the lighter shades. It just is a nice balanced palette. And again, I'm sorry if I'm blinding you, but yeah, this is one that I love. So this is number 3. And my top 2. Number 2 is going to be It's My Pleasure, the purple palette that I mentioned earlier. I love purple eyeshadow, and this really hyped up my love for purple eyeshadow is this palette. And this is one of my like first palettes from Colourpop too. This is my first one, I believe. This was like my second or third, and then my first palette that I'm going to show you guys was probably like in that too. I love these shadows in here. This shade, like all the shimmers, honestly, that one is beautiful. The mattes are nice. There's a nice deepening shade. This, oh my god, I can say something nice about all of these shades. I can use all of these shades. They all show up nice on my skin. Pigmented. I love making a purple monochromatic eye with this palette. It's just perfect. It's my perfect purple, and it's not even super purple, honestly. It's kind of more leaning towards that purple pinky tones, but I love it. I love it. I just love this palette so much. I think it is absolutely gorgina. There's a purple swatch, and these are swatches from, I didn't even say, oh my goodness, these are swatches from the Midnight Masquerade palette. These, like, oh my god, they're so pretty. They're like duochrome gorgeousness. And then this is obviously the purple that I just swatched from the It's My Pleasure, the Do or Do. This might go on my list to pan a shadow from here after my other ones I'm doing. And then coming in at number 1, no surprise, I've talked about this palette enough on my channel and I won't go overboard with it now, but the Ooh La La palette is one of my favorite palettes in my collection that I own, and it's also one of my favorite palettes. Is my favorite palette from Colourpop. So this is their monochromatic pink palette. You can see how, look at that packaging. It just, I use it so much. And as you can see, this is one that has the most dips. Look at that. This is one of the shades I'm trying to pan right now, Poodle. Definitely I'm going to have it panned probably before the end of this year. Such a big dip in there, as well as Big Sugar has a big dip, and a lot of other shades in here as well. I love this palette, this shade too, Tickled. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. The pink looks I get from this are absolutely beautiful. Yes, pink eyeshadow can sometimes make you look a little like you're sick, but I love it. I just think it's beautiful, and I love this palette for that reason. It's just a beautiful pink, monochromatic pink palette, and it even has some shades that kind of surprise you that you wouldn't normally think like pink, but yeah, it's so pretty. This shade right here, gorgeous. Oh my god, it's so pretty. It looks white in pan, but then it has all these pink shimmers in it. Like I said, Big Sugar, one of my favorite pink shimmers. Poodle, one of my favorite mattes. Look at the swatches. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's just a beautiful palette. These two shades, I do use these to deepen up, but I don't use them as much. I need to use them more. They're almost like, honestly, purple. But they're super nice too. Where am I going with this? Where am I supposed to be swatching? So yeah, those two are also really, really nice. But like I said, let me not spend, oh, and Soft Core too. Oh my god, this is a nice pink shade. And I can use every shade in here too. So bonus, no chalkiness, no, you know, bland, nothing that is, you know, something I can't use. So this 10 out of 10 for me. Love it. One of my favorite palettes in my whole collection, as well as my favorite from Colourpop. And again, I love it. I just love it. Let me not go overboard with talking about it because I've talked about it enough on my channel. But yeah, that's my ranking for all of my Colourpop palettes. I hope this video was entertaining for you for what it was, and I hope that you enjoyed it for sure. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and also tell me about your favorite palettes from Colourpop, or what your ranking will be for your collection. If you have any palettes from Colourpop, obviously, let me know down in the comments below, or comment on any of these palettes if you would like to try any, or like to see a video with any of these palettes. I would definitely be up for that as well. But yeah, I will check you guys out in the next video. I try to post at least twice a week, so be looking out for that. Again, subscribe if you want to see any makeup or movie content, and stay safe and be good, you guys. I will see you guys later. Bye bye, adios.